Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. The career counseling session I just completed a little earlier today motivated me to share this with you. My client has a PhD and he's looking for a postdoc in a narrow specialty. He believes that eventually he needs to reach out to some of his field's heavy hitters to get guidance on where to turn. But week after week now, he continues to do more research to try to figure out who the right people are. He's still not sure. He admits that that is a manifestation of his lifelong problem with excessive rumination and insufficient action. By the end of the session, he felt far more optimistic that he can ameliorate his problem, and the following lessons should be applicable to personal as well as professional life, his and yours. He came to understand that while there's always more information you could try to get, successful people stay alert for the moment that they guess that the benefits of making a decision outweigh the benefits of additional rumination or data collection. The founder of Fast Company magazine, Alan Weber, who's interviewed countless Silicon Valley successful people, said that their typical approach is ready, fire, aim. In other words, after modest rumination and perhaps some research, they then try something and then revise based on early feedback. To practice that decision rule of ready, fire, aim, I asked my client, what's one university that may have a relevant professor that you should reach out to? And he gave me a name of a university, and I said, okay, let's look at faculty bios in a relevant department at that university. And in just 1 minute or so, we found a professor who's a possible, although certainly not a slam dunk connection, or a source of information. The client was reluctant to call, and I reminded him of the risk-reward of calling versus further rumination. If he calls, worst case, the professor's off target, or the client gets tongue-tied and the professor blows him off. We agreed that the risk-reward would be optimized if he took a minute or so to practice a conversationally delivered 30-second presentation of his situation. He practiced that once, only once, and then he made the call. He ended up having to leave a voicemail for the professor. Professors are almost never at their desk. And after the call, I asked him how he felt about having done it. He said he felt much better. I asked him then to, after the session, call 10 more possible professors that could give him information on a possible postdoc, and that while the likelihood is that 8 or 9 of the 10 is going to lead nowhere, but 1 or 2 are likely to help him more than rumination would. He heartily agreed. A related concept is to consciously assess when the uncomfortability of an action is outweighed by the benefit to you or to your sphere of influence. My client was uncomfortable at the thought of making the call, but he forced himself to do it. Yeah, he probably called only because I was there, benevolent despot prodding him. But I asserted that he's got to come to accept that when it is in his interest to take an action, he's got to do so not because someone's flogging him to do it, but because it's intrinsically in his interest. Intrinsic motivation is far more useful and applicable to your life than extrinsic motivation. There just are too many times when no one's going to be breathing down your neck to do the work that you know you need to do and want to do. Preparing my income tax returns comes to mind right now. And ultimately, we do feel better about ourselves if we do tasks because we, and not some external force, are driving us. Whether in your work life or your personal life, if you are prone to excess rumination and data collection that you do to avoid decision making, consider trying this 2-step solution I've just outlined. Number 1, stay vigilant for that moment when the benefits of making a decision and taking action outweigh additional rumination or research you could do. And number 2, get comfortable being uncomfortable when you know that's in your interest, whether or not a despot, benevolent or otherwise, is breathing down your neck. Anyway, I'd appreciate your thumbs up or thumbs down. You can do that right underneath this video, and as well, of course, sharing it on social media, which you can also do easily. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.